In this video, I'm going to show you how to study and what to study for your next chapter test. First step, I go into the lesson plan and I noticed that my teacher, aka me, created a study guide. I know when it's red, it's really, really important. Needless to say, these are all the things we've been doing leading up to the chapter test. I'm going to click on the chapter test study guide. It opens this up and you'll notice I have backup of almost everything. I try to plan for the unexpected. Oh, I forgot my book at school. Well, the book is all right here. This might help you if you're working at home with a tutor, etc. So I'm here, I'm looking at these very, very, very carefully. And I read everything very carefully. I'm gonna try to go through the, believe it or not, the short version of it. Step one, I'm clicking on each slides that we have done together and I'm reviewing it. At the beginning, you'll notice this was actually very easy, at least now, since you've got so much more experience on it. And you review it one at a time at your own leisure. Make sure that you understand everything. You go through more realistic test questions, especially when you get towards the end of these slides. Something like this. What happens when you have a final answer of minus x is equal to 10? If you remember in class, we did a blast from the past with Mr. Doron, DJ Doron, flipped it and reversed it. So minus x is equal to 10 really became x is equal to minus 10. You simply reversed the negative into a positive. Whatever I did on one side, I do to the other. The 10 was positive, now becomes negative. In mathematical language, you just multiplied both sides by minus 1. These are a little bit more challenging here. You got 9y is equal to 18. You know you divide both sides by 9, y is equal to 2. This is the kind of stuff that you're doing and reviewing. You see something like that. Mr. Doran talked about Zorro. He brought in the sword and did cross multiplication. That's what happens when you have a fraction and you have a term like this. And so u times an imaginary 1. We just finished Halloween and we talked about, I tried to make a little bit of light of stuff so that the students can remember stuff. There was an imaginary 1. We talked about imaginary ghosts. That got a couple of giggles, and then hopefully they would remember u times 1 is u, 8 times 2 is 16. The answer, u is 16. And from there, they'll always remember cross multiplication when you see something like that. Here it says do page 31 your workbook, but the reality is there was so many pages that were leading up to this that they've done, and they've got all the answers. I even went and did some YouTube videos. I'm sure you've seen them, like this example over here. When you get into the lesson plan or when you get into the study guide, these are some examples and they're all linked right here. I invite you to look at them very carefully.
In this next example, you got 4x
easy
minus
example.
2 is equal to...
This one might be a little bit more challenging, right?
Guess who's back? All right, in this question,
Yes,
we
I'm
have
back, but
2x plus 1
the
over...
reality is this one is not going to be on your test. This was good for you for Math Help Services when you had fractions. Hold on, let me just
4
stand
is equal
corrected.
to x plus 2
Yeah,
over
actually, this
3.
is a good one. I'm sorry.
X is...
There was one where you had to find the lowest common denominator when you had 3 of these guys, which is not on your test, but this one is. So this one simply, you just cross multiply, you go through it all, and notice what you would do.
Okay.
And you look carefully at all this stuff. We've gone through this in class. You are right now reviewing. You're making sure everything is well understood, and you know this like the back of your hand. We're just simply still on these PowerPoint slides, and you're going through them. This obviously takes time. You're showing a commitment into your subject, and a chapter test obviously is very important, and so you're trying to do well. Here's another great example. When you download the PowerPoint and you click on it, you'll notice often what I do is I have animations, and so when you do this, it helps you to find out what the next step is from here. You know, and obviously what we do in class is discuss this a lot more in detail, where, you know, you're just adding all the like terms together. X minus 4x is minus 3x, minus 3x plus x is minus 2x. That's how I got that. And even, whoops, you should only have one equal sign every line. That's how I got the minus 2x. And then what I do is I have kind of like squiggly lines on the minus 3, or I'll highlight it, because numbers with numbers, letters with letters. Minus 3 plus 8 we know is plus 5, and then a minus 1 just comes down like that. That's how we do every line. That's how we're showing our work. We're not just putting answers. When you get to this side over here, you always divide by the number right before the letter. In this case, it's minus 2. Whatever you do to one side, yes, I know, I said it 100 times, you do to both sides, and then you get x is equal to 3. These are the kind of things you're doing. This one is definitely going to be on your test. Something like this, you don't really like this number over here, okay? And so you're just going to move this plus 10 to the other side. If it changes sides, ladies and gentlemen, that's right, it changes signs. So the plus 10 becomes minus 10. So you ask yourself, what is minus 3 minus 10? And of course the answer is minus 13. That's how I got to that section right over there. And then now again you cross multiply. So you'll see we just added a little bit of a layer of complexity to this question, but then the answer becomes x equals to minus 65. And that's what we're doing. We are building stuff in grade 8, and from experience, since I've taught all the way up to grade 11, I am aware of what's happening in the future, all the way up to grade 11, and this is really the building blocks of the future years. This is another great example over here. You're definitely getting something like this, page 35, number 24. And here I go and I explain how to do it. I even explain how to verify your answer when you substitute what you think the answer is, in this case 43, and substitute it back into all the x's. So bottom line, you are going through all these PowerPoint slides. We want to also discuss word problems in algebra. Start by looking and recalling these notes, page 12 to 15. You should have the answers to this. You are looking at your memory aid or cheat sheet. So that basically means you are working on your memory aid. So I have, for you, I know you are so appreciative of it, created a potential memory aid. Now we're on chapter 2, and these are some of the things you want to have on your colored memory aid. These are some of the examples you want to have on your colored memory aid. And so I'm just moving along into my study guide. What else does Mr. Doron want from me? That's a great question. I just finished number 1. I'm going to now number 2. And this one, I believe, we did not really do, we didn't really do this one technically in class. because it became part of our work. But I did invariably use this stuff while I was teaching and working on the workbooks. So this stuff here gives you just the idea behind all the equations, which is really whatever you do to one side, you do the other. Things have to balance. A lot of people like to have a visual of this balance. Really, whatever you do to one side. So if I add 7 on one side, well, I have to add 7 on the other. If I divide by 2 on one side, I gotta divide 2 on the other side. Or I need to divide by the same number on every term. Okay, let's move on. So here you see I said just look at until slides 34. Okay, we looked at our Bell work as well. The last few days especially, this was some of the stuff that I asked students to copy in their colored memory aid. So you'll have very similar questions. I'm just going to change the numbers. This was a nice one over here. I let you look at this because in this video, I'm just showing you what you should study. We look at it on your own a lot more carefully. Okay, what else? We did 1, we did 2, we did 3. Look and truly understand Mr. D in action. So video example 1, 2, 3, 4, and most important 5 and 6. So you'll notice I really go out of my way to even create videos for you to watch so that you can look at it very, very carefully. I looked at even number 5, create a memory aid. I've already talked about that. Okay, what else? You'll notice these are the pages that we have covered, okay? And we have always looked at them in class as well. So, what else? Work on extra practice stencils and see solutions. So that's kind of interesting. Look at math help services. Do the remediation. So we already did a couple of them. And if you'll notice, even on my computer, or iPad in this case, I have it all set up where I have what's called video lessons. A lot of people don't even do the video lessons. They don't even look at it. This is a good one. It's play the lesson. I've included in it. So look at that. Like, for example, this question over here. Let X represent Blake's present age. 7 years ago, Blake was 9 years old. So Blake's current age, you have Blake. Well, we don't know anything about him, so you let Blake equals X. And 7 years ago, he was X minus 7. But now he's 9 years old, so X minus 7 is equal to 9. And then basically, if you had to solve it from there, X would equal to 16. So that's how you would solve something like that. You would better understand this stuff when you actually dig into it and do it. Now, speaking of digging in and doing, there were some examples of what to do. For example, page 38, 1 to 5. So you go to page 38, 1 to 5. Let me see if I can find it somewhere. I thought I had it somewhere. Please bear with me. Page 38, 1 to 5. So these are examples that you should do and try to better understand. As they say, patience is a virtue. So page 38, okay. Page 38 is right here. So this one, I think it's very similar to the Bell work that we did. You really should know that one, okay. Let's see what else. I'm just gonna look at the lesson plan and notice that there was other ones to do. Let's take a look. The mixed bag equations, that's a good one too. Page 44. 45 also is good. You should be able to do this stuff. The enrichment we can skip unless you are in enriched, and then you have money problems. So this is good too. Page 47, just to give you a quick example. The price of a pair of jeans is 3 times that of a t-shirt. So let me just take this question over here. Apple C to copy. If 2 pairs of jeans and 3 t-shirts cost $90, how much do 1 pair of jeans and 1 t-shirt cost? So, just to give you an example of what to do, I take this question and I will pretend to do it. I'll pretend to be you. We can play the game I am you and you are me, if that makes any sense. So the price, and I always like to read it and I reread it. The last thing I want to do is leave something blank. Do not leave anything blank on a quiz or a test. Believe it or not, I really do want you to pass. And if you give me something to work with, I will give you at least part points. Some points are better than nothing. The price of a pair of jeans is 3 times that of a t-shirt. If 2 pairs of jeans and 3 t-shirts cost $90, how much do 1 pair of jeans and 1 t-shirt cost? So you'll notice I sometimes even read it myself a couple of times, even if I've seen this for many, many years. Now, you let X equals the information you know the least about. The price of a pair of jeans is 3 times that of a t-shirt. So you've got jeans and you've got a t-shirt. I ask myself, which one do I know the least about? I read it again. The price of a pair of jeans is 3 times that of a t-shirt. So I know stuff about the jeans. I don't know anything about a t-shirt. Again, let X equals the information you know the least about. So the price of a pair of jeans is 3 times that of a t-shirt. So if the t-shirt is X, the jeans are 3X. If 2 pairs of jeans, so if 2 pairs, you are now translating this stuff. You're taking the algebra, the equations that you know, and all the knowledge you know, now you're putting it into an equation to solve for X. You are building and building and building. And even I use this when I teach how to start a business, when I work in my own businesses and in my life. Eventually, you're going to see all this will make sense. Let's continue and focus on this. And again, I read it again. If 2 pairs of jeans, that's 2X. If 2 pairs of jeans and 3 t-shirts, and 3 t-shirts, okay, cost $90. It equals to $90. How much do 1 pair of jeans and 1 t-shirt cost? Okay, now we have built the equation. Let's continue. 2X plus 3X is 5X is equal to 90. Divide both sides by 5. You're going to get X is equal to. Now on a test and a quiz, I'm always very careful, even though I know 90 divided by 5, or I know some of my stuff. I just sometimes just double check. Hey Siri, what's 90 divided by 5? And she'll tell me. It's 18. So we know, okay, we know X is equal to 18. So this guy over here, okay, we know is 18. $18 for a t-shirt. This guy, 3 times 18 is, I'll just pretend it's 20. 20 times 3 is 60, and then I'll subtract by 3 times 2, which is 6. It's 54. So the jeans cost me 54, and the t-shirt cost me 18. Now the question is, how much do 1 pair of jeans and 1 t-shirt cost? Well, that's actually it, okay? So then what I would do is I would just write a nice sentence, and I would just write, 1 pair of jeans, okay? Blah, 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 blah. 1 pair of jeans cost $54. Oh, sorry, hold on. 54 divided by 3 would be the cost of the jeans, and the t-shirt would be $18. Okay? That's how you would do that one. Okay? I think I'm right. I gotta move on because I want to do something else with you. Let's take a look. I'm gonna go back into my lesson plan and just take a look at what other pages I was asked to do, or I should say you were asked to do, or was you, me, you? Okay, 47 and 48, a couple. Okay, yes, I like you. I don't want to do a review because I just don't have time. 47, 48, and let's just do perhaps one more, okay? 47, 48. So here's 47. Oh, actually we did that. Okay, so you do a couple of these. I think I've asked you to do 5 just to give you the idea. And then 48. Okay, so 48, Cameron's uncle is 3 times as old as he is. So these are what's called age problems. So let me take that. And let me do that one for you as well. I'll take that and paste it here so that I can see, and we are live, so we go through some moving as Mr. Doran is needing to change rooms. Okay, let's read it again. Cameron's uncle is 3 times as old as he. Okay, the way you set up, and again, you see that through the video lessons and math help services, which you were supposed to do. Go through everything. Let's do it. Cameron's uncle is 3 times as old as he is. So you have Cameron and you have his uncle. Notice how I just use letters like that. So my first question, who do I know the least about? I'm going to put that as X. I read it again. Cameron's uncle is 3 times as old as he is. So I know stuff about the uncle. I don't know anything about Cameron. So I'll leave him as X. And the uncle, Cameron's uncle, is 3 times as old as he. So that's 3X. Now the way you set this one up is that you do the now and then 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, what happened? 4 years ago. This is how you show your work. I don't know why I talk like that. Okay, that's pretty annoying. All right, 4 years ago. So now Cameron's is X. 4 years ago, it's X minus 4. His uncle, 4 years ago, you want to put a pause and see if you know how to figure this one out? How come no one pushes pause when I tell him to push pause? Okay, 4 years ago, well, okay, he was 3X minus 4. All right, that's what happens there. Now let's just see how we can set up an equation to get an answer. So how 4 years ago, he was 4 times older. So now I'm kind of looking here. Change the colors, make it very obvious. And it's kind of fun to change colors and make it colorful. Put some pride into your work, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. 4 years ago, he was 4 times older. So 4 years ago, so I'm looking here, he was 4. So equals, he was 4 times older. So I'm going to say it was equal to 4 times X minus 4. Digest that one for a few seconds. I know it's not easy. It takes time and practice. Because 4 years ago, he was 4 times older than Cameron. So now you just solve it. Okay, so let's take that one right there. I'll just recopy it now. 3X minus 4 is equal to distributive property, ladies and gentlemen, equals 4 times X is 4X. 4 times minus 4 is minus 16. A positive times a negative is a negative. Okay, I've got letters on both sides. I'm going to put the letters on the left-hand side. I'm going to put the numbers on the right-hand side. 3X minus 4X is minus X. and minus 16 plus 4 is 12. I'm not done yet. Flip it and reverse it. DJ Doron. Okay. The 12 becomes, hold on a second. Did I make a mistake? 3x minus 4x is minus x. Minus 16 plus 12 is minus 12. Who's catching Mr. Doron make a mistake? Okay. And so I give out dojo points for that. Can you believe that? I'm still using dojo points. Yes, I know. Kind of crazy, but I think the kids like it a lot too. All right. That's a topic for another discussion. You can't be negative 12 years old. You flip it and reverse it, you get x is equal to 12. And so that is the answer, and that's how you do it. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how and what you should be studying for your test coming up. Okay? Let's take a look if there's any other last minute things that I want to tell you what to study. There's so much to do. Show commitment, show dedication, show care in what you're doing. Build a strong study guide, up to 50 questions. That's always great. Okay. See Mr. Doron during his remediation. Look at the lesson plan for the schedule. This is a wonderful place for you and me to meet. I can usually do something in 1 minute, one-on-one, and often it can take 20 minutes in class, just because there's a lot more value in seeing someone individually. And a lot of people just like the individual attention, or perhaps, work in small groups, because it's just easier like that, and there's a little more value in there. Okay, bonus, you'll notice the hard examples will be the long questions. This is where you will really need to know your material. Review these 2 videos and make sure you know them inside out. Write them down in your memory aid. Often people get stressed. And what I would tell you, if you get stressed, then put all your stress in your memory aid, that colored memory aid, 1 page. And I wish you good luck on your test, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.